Welcome back to the program. We're joined by Nozibusiso Dembe to talk financial markets. Nozibusiso, perhaps, before we even start our conversation, we're receiving new information right now from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy that Nzonga Petroli yakupuga. We do want to obviously look at the reasons behind that, but maybe before we look at the reasons behind that, here's the statement. I think we may want, just to highlight the text in bold. Unleaded petrol and diesel 50 ppms will increase by 1.10 cents, whilst illuminating paraffin will increase by 50 cents per litre. So these new fuel prices shall come into effect at midnight on Thursday, the 7th of March 2024, effective Friday, the 8th of March 2024. This provides us an opportunity maybe to look at the reasons behind this. What is happening geopolitically could be the effects. I can only assume you are the expert here.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon to all your viewers. The statement by the government of Eswatini cites two main reasons for the increase. The first being an increase in oil prices, and then the second being the weakening of the Swazililangeni against major currencies. So historically, with oil prices, we've seen a decrease in the price of oil, and this was due to limited supply and increased demand. And OPEC, in a quest to try and manage the decrease in the price of oil, has been limiting supply further. So what that has done, evidently, is increase the price of Brent crude oil slowly, and we are now seeing the effects of it. I think South Africa initially increased the price of oil, and now we are following suit.
And I guess that could be a perfect segue to look at, equities for the day. Let's look at the overview, maybe, the three major indicators. What is it that is really driving the market right now?
Thank you so much. So with equities, we have the three major indicators, which is the S&P 500, the FTSE 100, and the JSE All-in Index. All those indices are currently showing that there is a loss in stock prices, currently driven by declining prices for tech companies. We recently announced that, heard an announcement that Apple has lost a lot of mileage in its stock prices due to an announcement in China that there've been decrease in the sales of iPhones. So Apple was then followed suit by Netflix prices decreasing, Microsoft prices decreasing, and we can see this in the numbers here that show a major decrease in stocks in general.
Yeah. Compared to the three major currencies, the United States dollar, maybe with everything that's happening in America, the politics, I think you've also cited some of the major companies in Silicon Valley in the financial markets.
Okay, so in terms of currencies, we've seen the ZAR gain quite a bit of strength against the major currencies, with the US dollar currently trading at 18.8933, the euro trading at 20.5446, the pound trading at 24.0212. And the main driver for the rand strength in the past week, earlier in the week, we had our Purchasing Managers Index numbers, which showed a recovery of factory activity in South Africa. And then secondly, and probably more significantly, we had information on the GDP of South Africa, which indicated that the fourth quarter GDP for 2023 increased marginally in South Africa. And the reason this is important is because in the third quarter of 2023, there was a marginal decrease in the GDP. And if there was another decrease in the fourth quarter, that would have caused a technical recession. And nobody wants to go down that road. So I think the market showed signs of relief, and we saw rand strength because of that.
It's quite interesting because, when you look at the U.S. markets, we're just, discussing them with another economist. They were closing down. And, today it's a different story. And tomorrow is probably another different story. What really affects this in America in particular?
Markets are very volatile.
Right.
There's a lot of things happening. What's been topical of late is inflation numbers. Inflation numbers have really been affecting interest rates. We saw that a lot, I think, in the past couple of weeks. But right now, I think we're just riding off the rand strength that we're finally achieving, which will help our importer clients to buy foreign currency at a lower rate than they would have previously done that.
Yeah, let's look at commodities, and I mean, in petrol, and I suppose as the graphic is about to go up on screen, we will be able to look at all these numbers, and what is really affected in Zaba commodities, Brent crude oil. It's a different case from what is happening with the Golid.
Okay. In terms of commodities, I think we've spoken a little bit about our Brent crude oil. It has a slight increase, and that's affecting the price of oil, of fuel lately. But on the gold side, we're seeing a price of $2,126.51 per ounce. And I think what's interesting in this week is that we've seen gold reach highs that it hasn't reached before. So this week it broke a level of 2,100, which it had never done before. And I think that was an interesting experience to see in the market. This also is on the back of inflation. So the market is slowly realizing that inflation is taking longer to come back down, which means interest rates are then expected to stay higher for longer. At the moment, the expectation is that the US will decrease interest rates probably in June of this year. So we then see that translate into the price of gold as well.
Certainly looking forward to see how that is going to affect Gold. And certainly, the market at debt for Lapaika, and that's always been my biggest interest. So thank you so much for joining us on the program. We'll see you again next week, Wednesday. We've come to the end of our show for the day. Let's see you again tomorrow on Market View. Have a good day.
Make